Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything you thought was real, the history you learned in school, the power structures you trust, even the very nature of reality itself was an elaborate illusion. Not a movie plot, but the actual world you live in. This is the world David Icke invites you to step into with Children of the Matrix. It's not a polite invitation, it's a jolt to the system, a challenge to look at the world without the comforting filters society gives us. David Icke's Children of the Matrix is one of those books that can make you uncomfortable, fascinated, skeptical, and strangely enlightened all at once. It's his attempt to pull back the curtain on a reality he believes has been carefully constructed to keep humanity in ignorance and servitude. His central idea is bold: human society is not simply shaped by politics, economics, or social evolution, but by a hidden network of control that extends far beyond governments, corporations, and media. This network, he argues, is ancient, highly organized, and shockingly inhuman. At the heart of Icke's theory is the claim that an advanced non-human force often described as reptilian in form has been influencing human affairs for thousands of years. This influence, he believes, operates both in the physical and non-physical realms, weaving together religion, royalty, banking systems, secret societies, and the media into a unified web of control. For Icke, the Matrix is not just a metaphor borrowed from science fiction. It's an actual energetic and informational structure, a virtual prison for the mind, sustained by fear, division, and ignorance. He traces this back to ancient civilizations: Sumer, Babylon, Egypt, where myths of gods descending from the heavens or the stars appear over and over again. Icke suggests these myths are not mere allegories but coded memories of real events, where technologically advanced beings came to Earth and manipulated early humans. These beings, he says, engineered societies in ways that allowed them to control the population while remaining mostly hidden. Kings, pharaohs, and emperors often claimed divine right to rule. According to Icke, those divine connections were literal, tracing bloodlines back to these interdimensional controllers. This bloodline idea becomes a major thread in the book. Icke argues that many of the world's most powerful families, whether in politics, finance, or monarchy, are descendants of these ancient hybrid bloodlines, bred to maintain control over humanity. These families, he claims, are strategically placed across the globe, infiltrating all major centers of influence. To the public, they appear as unconnected leaders and influential figures. Behind the scenes, they are part of the same ancient network, playing out a long-term plan. The Matrix itself, as Icke describes it, isn't just political or financial. It's vibrational. Reality, in his view, is a spectrum of frequencies. Human beings are tuned into a narrow band of that spectrum, perceiving only what we're conditioned to see. The controlling force, what he calls the archontic or reptilian influence, operates on different frequencies, able to manipulate thought, emotion, and perception. It's like a broadcast you can't hear consciously but that still affects your mind. Through this vibrational manipulation, they keep humanity locked in fear, conflict, and survival mode, making it harder for people to awaken to their true nature. Icke spends much of the book connecting these concepts to real-world events. Wars, economic crises, political upheavals, even cultural movements. He frames them not as spontaneous human developments but as carefully orchestrated maneuvers to keep the system intact. For example, conflicts between nations, he argues, are often staged or encouraged by the same controlling network that benefits from chaos. Fearful, divided populations are easier to manage than united, aware ones. The book is also deeply critical of mainstream religion and organized belief systems. Icke sees them as tools of programming, designed to keep people in mental and emotional confinement. Whether it's the promise of heaven, the threat of hell, or the belief that salvation can only come from an external savior, these systems, in his view, all funnel people into passivity. He encourages readers to see themselves as powerful co-creators of reality, capable of shaping their own destiny once they break free from the programming. One of the most provocative aspects of Children of the Matrix is its emphasis on breaking the illusion not just intellectually, but energetically. Knowledge, Icke says, is the first step, but it's not enough to simply know about the Matrix. You have to raise your own vibration to escape its grip. That means letting go of fear, resentment, and limiting beliefs, and instead tuning into love, compassion, and self-awareness. The more people do this, he argues, the weaker the matrix becomes. He also spends time warning about future trends: mass surveillance, digital control systems, bioengineering, and centralized world governance, all of which he believes are tools the controlling network will use to tighten its grip. Written years before many of today's global concerns became mainstream, some readers find his predictions eerily accurate. Others see them as exaggerated or speculative. But even skeptics often admit that his description of power structures is worth considering, if only because it encourages deeper questioning of official narratives. What makes the book emotionally striking is Icke's underlying message of empowerment. Despite the darkness of the system he describes, he insists that humanity has the power to break free. The controllers, he argues, rely entirely on humanity's compliance. Once enough people refuse to participate in the fear-based game, the matrix collapses. He paints this as both a personal and collective awakening, urging readers not to wait for political leaders, religious figures, or saviors to liberate them. Freedom, in his view, is an inside job. There's also a strong thread about the nature of reality itself. Drawing on concepts from quantum physics, ancient mysticism, and modern metaphysics, Icke suggests that the physical world is more like a holographic projection than a solid, fixed environment. If reality is holographic and consciousness-based, then changing the way we think and feel changes the world we experience. The controllers, therefore, invest so heavily in controlling thought and emotion because they understand that perception shapes reality. Some passages in the book are blunt and even confrontational. Icke doesn't shy away from calling out institutions or public figures he believes are part of the problem. This directness, combined with his willingness to blend political commentary with metaphysical speculation, is part of what makes the book so polarizing. Fans see it as courageous truth-telling, critics call it conspiracy theory. Either way, it sparks strong reactions, which is exactly what Icke seems to want. By the time you reach the final chapters, the book feels less like a catalogue of conspiracies and more like a call to consciousness. He invites readers to stop seeing themselves as helpless pawns in a global game and instead reclaim their role as sovereign beings. The children of the Matrix, in Icke's title, are all of us, born into a world designed to limit us, but also capable of transcending it once we see the cage for what it is. Reading Children of the Matrix is like having someone grab you by the shoulders and shake you awake, not gently, but urgently. Whether you agree with every detail or not, the book forces you to confront uncomfortable questions about who really runs the world, why humanity keeps repeating cycles of conflict and oppression, and what it would take to finally break free. Icke's answer is disarmingly simple: stop giving your mind and heart to those who feed on fear. Reclaim your awareness. Tune into love. The moment enough of us do that, the Matrix, whatever you believe it to be, loses its power. In the end, this isn't just a book about shadowy forces and ancient bloodlines. It's a challenge to wake up, stand tall, and live as though your freedom depends on it, because it does.